more afraid of this thing than I am of Popeye. It's so loud. I'm just gonna whisper. All right. We have Alex Tucker, producer. We have Nathan Tadaro, another producer, also director, Detective Caruso, delivering the title line. We have Ron Lee, executive producer. Now we have some of our actors. We have Sean Michael Conway playing Dexter. You still there? Okay. We have Stephen McCormick as Joey. The lovable Joey. We have Sarah Nicklin as Adrienne. We have Angela Reluccio playing Margot. And last and certainly not least, the man himself, Jason Stevens, the Slayer Man. Come on down. Is that everybody? Yeah? Thank you for coming down, because my question is actually for the two of you. You guys have been working together for a really long time now. I'm just curious how you guys first met and what was your first creative endeavor together?
I've known Robert since the 4th grade, 11 years old, and we started off making little short horror movies with the VHS camera that my grandmother owned. And I think the first thing we did was Attack of the Killer Cards. It was playing cards that went around and killed you. We were 13 when we made it, I think. And we started making little short horror movies and eventually moved up to feature films, and we've worked basically our whole lives doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Robert doesn't like to talk very much.
Brian, sorry, do we have one more actor?
Oh, we have one more?
Oh,
Oh, Joel. Sorry about that. You kill him too. Who don't you kill up here? Oh, he lives. He lives. There. Jeff, let's turn to you for a sec. Now, when developing the screenplay, how did you kind of balance out, it's not really a comedy, but it does have moments of levity, and there's a few references to the Popeye character. I particularly like the little wimpy cameo. How did you sort of balance out, how much to put in, when to dial it back?
It was just, Robert and Kyle Carvin and I just kind of developed the story, and then we hired John Doolin as the writer. He had written a script for us called Ouija Witch. But, a lot of that is just in the developing process, and you just try to, we want to have fun with it, obviously, not take it too seriously. But, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. But, yeah.
Where's Blue, though? That's what I want.
He's not public domain yet, so we could not use him. And there is no wimpy in the movie if you look at the credits. We have a frumpy-looking man, but there is no wimpy. Yeah.
Alex was our producer. Alex, there you are, sir. And this could go for any of the producers, really. Talk about the location. Did you guys already have this somewhere, in the back of your mind, or did you know about this, or did you have to find it? And also, once you did find it, did you have to sort of accommodate the script for it?
Yeah, a lot of that goes to our Oneonta, our upstate New York crew. They are our production partners. We work with them on multiple films now. Otsego Media, shout out to them. None of them could be here tonight, but we love working with them. This is, a 4th film for you, Jeff. 4th with me, 2nd for you, Robert. 3rd, I don't remember. But we love working with them, and they are a lot of our boots on the ground. They help shoot, cast. It really is a team effort. But our Otsego Media team, which is based in Oneonta, we knew that we wanted to go back and work with them. They're a great partner for fulfilling a lot of the roles for production services. But also, they know locations, and they can help get exactly what we're looking for. Did we have any idea that we were going to find a location like this? No. They wrote this script and came up with all these visual ideas, but you cast it out there and hope that you find like 50% of what you're looking for, and maybe that will fulfill all of it. And this one location ended up being available and fulfilling every single scene that we were looking for.
And it is very dusty, and it's a working feed company, and it smells, and
It's disgusting.
it was
Absolutely disgusting.
yeah, you smell like a hamster cage every day after shooting. Yeah.
We did overnights. It was still functioning while we were shooting, so we did overnights not to interfere with their operating business.
Yeah.
Animal feed. So not spinach at all.
No spinach was harmed. For Nathan and Ron, can you talk, when the trailer hit, it was kind of like a viral kind of sensation. Can you guys talk about your reaction to that? Was it a surprise? Were you like, yeah, we knew it would be?
When I first saw it, I was really blown away with it coming together, and what this whole team was able to create. It was, at first I was a little shocked there was the kills right away, but you know, it's what grabbed me, you know, and I knew that I was getting feedback from people that I knew that were seeing the trailer, and they were just more excited, you know, to see those kills coming out right away. And so I was getting a lot of messages about this film coming out, and that was really inspiring that we were able to get this done so quickly and get this trailer out that created such inspiration for people.
Yeah, guys, the trailers and all that came out amazing. The cast and crew was awesome. This is about my 15th project with the team, and I gotta say they're awesome, great, and we had a wonderful time with them. Now, I'm an EP, so I'm not on set that much, but I'd say congratulations, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
My thoughts on the trailer? Or what?
You can talk about
Just talk?
no.
Trailer was kick-ass. I mean, the trailer dropped, it was like, oh my god. I mean, I worked with these guys before on Ouija Witch, and we had such a great experience then, but when I saw that trailer for Popeye, I was like, we kicked it up a notch. This is badass.
For you, I actually want to talk about working with Alina, who's not here.
Sure.
But you have pretty much all of your scenes, or pretty much most of your scenes with her, and just developing your chemistry with her and some of that.
Yeah, working with Elena was amazing. I met her on set, and honestly, like, spending time with the entire cast, including Steven, was just, it was so wonderful. We built such great friendships. I'm so close to all these guys, and it was great. Just like, even when we were off set, we were able to rehearse together. Like, everyone was just excited. You know, there was no ego involved. Everyone was really really dedicated to their craft and was super light about it. So we just had such a great time kind of like getting to know each other and kind of building our characters together with the story. And it's just exactly what you hope for in a film. And since we're all coming from other places to Oneonta, it feels like being in summer camp. So it was such a blast, like making friends with everyone, and that really shows on camera. The chemistry just, it's so vibrant.
I'm going to save energy and go to this side because there's more on this one. But Steven, for you, you are as big of an asshole in this movie as Popeye is. And, you know, that's like a long-standing tradition of the slasher film. There's a dickhead in the movie or a real, you know, a B, and you kind of wait the whole movie for them to get their comeuppance. You get beaten to death with your own arm, which is amazing. Just talk about shooting that lovely moment.
Yeah, so Robert, I don't remember this, but that was my first time dying on screen, and I was like, oh shit. I was nervous, and everyone else did so good. And Robert comes up, and like everyone said, this factory was shut down from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And he comes up to me, it's like 1, 2 in the morning, and he's like, Steven, you know, the deaths have been good, they've been really good. I'm just worried about yours. And I go, naturally. And he's like, yeah, we have to do one take. I'm like, okay. And so it was like 4:30 in the morning, and we had a gallon of blood per kill, and I was like, all right, well, we're just gonna send it, I guess. And we got it in the one take, covered in blood, and then the wrecking crew, Alex coming in with the mop, like, the guys are getting into work. But, so the contrary belief, I'm really not that much of an asshole, but it was fun. But it was such a blessing to play around and be able to play and have the comfort to do that, and like the piggyback off my man here. It was just such an environment where everyone just came together, collaborated, was kind and open, and just wanted to make a good film. And it was just all about teamwork. And I wanted being beaten to death with my arm. I wanted to be poetic justice for the audience because, excuse my language, but he's a piece of shit. So I wanted him to, get what he deserved, and I think he got what he deserved.
And then the other end of that spectrum, we have Sarah, who I assume dies, but you do not die on screen. Were you disappointed that you did not get a lovely prosthetic arm beating like?
I would say a little bit of both with that. I'm a little disappointed because I do love special effects makeup. I have been killed in many horrific ways in a lot of different horror movies. There's a film, Pretty Boy, that's coming out in May where I get an axe to the face, and like in the prosthetic you see the eyeball popping out. It's very, very gory. But I also appreciate in this one that it's left open-ended, so it's in your mind, it's in your imagination how I die or don't die. Maybe part 2, who knows? Not saying anything, but yeah, it's all left up to your imagination how I may die. I don't know, Popeye's kind of a nice guy to the ladies, so maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just hiding in the factory somewhere.
It was nice to her. Instead of your death scene, which was incredible, by the way, I did want to talk about the theme song at the end, which you have a writing credit on. I am a sucker for horror movie theme songs, so I was very happy to hear this movie had one. Can you just talk about that process, how that came together?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this film is so special. I've known these guys for a decade plus, and they always put their heart and soul into these movies. And I said, they weren't necessarily looking for a song, but I have a friend and collaborator, Dustin Trinan, who's in the house tonight. We've got Nina Hurton, who directed the music video. But he got together with me, and I said, this movie's so special. And Dustin's a musician. I said, let's write something. And he's like, yeah, maybe we pitch it to them. And I said, yeah, Jeff, Robert, Kyle, what can we do this? Can we let you listen to 30 seconds of something we came up with? This movie is too special to not stand out amongst other slashers and indie horror films out there, and I thought it deserved its own theme song. So thank you guys for being gracious enough to let us come up with a whole theme. Thank you, and please listen to the lyrics now that you've seen the movie will make so much more sense, right? So thank you, Brian, for asking that, and it was a pleasure to be in the movie as well. So.
And back to killing. You are the first person ever to be killed by Popeye, I think, right? I haven't seen all of the cartoons, but the ones I saw, he rarely murdered anyone. Just can you talk about shooting that scene? Did you realize how important that was to cinema?
I mean, first one to die, last one to speak, so Popeye can say. No, it was a really good experience. I didn't know what I was walking into when I went into Anienta, and I still can't say Anienta for some reason, and I don't think I ever will be. I just remember walking into this super dark factory and just seeing a whole bunch of floating Popeye heads, and that's when it hit me, shit's about to go down. And then when they told me what was gonna happen to me, I was just ecstatic. I was like, all right, let's hit it. Let's get killed. And it's been great ever since.
Jason, I want to take it back to you. Talk about your prosthetic. It's just right there. Talk about your prosthetic work. The arm stuff seemed even more annoying than the head. At least that's how I would feel. But for you, what was it, and how long was that process each time?
It was a process. Thank God it was about 40 degrees at night when we were filming because it was really freaking hot, and I was drenched in sweat. A couple times I almost passed out when I was doing like a fighting sequence or something like that for long extended periods of time. To get the arms on, I had to like lube up the arms with KY jelly to slide them on, and then it would just be gross afterwards. And then only rubbing alcohol can only go so far. But it was, it was once I was fitted with everything, and things could come on and off pretty quickly. And then obviously, then the close-up stuff is a little bit more involved. But it was a fun experience, and like Popeye, what the hell, it was really nice. It was kind of cool to play an iconic character that's now a killer. Also, but I think Popeye's good, honestly. Everyone he killed was kind of bad. So, I mean, a couple people died by accident. That was their fault. Yeah, that was their fault. Yeah. So.
She's a clumsy. Someone mentioned the sequel earlier. Might as well talk about it a little bit if you can. I'm sure there's ideas. Maybe our boy Bluto. I don't know when he becomes available.
I mean, I think for sure there's going to be a sequel. Jeff and myself and Kyle, we're getting together really to talk about it. And the idea for the sequel is you always want to double or triple what you did in the first one. So we're looking to do even more intense stuff and a little more over the top. So it should be fun. Yeah.
We're gonna open up. We'll take a couple questions from you guys out there because we got to get going pretty soon. But we'd like to include you if anybody has a question. I am being blinded, so wave your hand a little if you have it up. I see one there.
Alright, so why Popeye? Like, out of curiosity, he is a great character, but like, why not the Pink Panther, Tomcat, all the other really good cartoons? What about Popeye? Stood out to you specifically?
Why Popeye?
He came in public domain this year, so that was the big thing. So a real quick little genesis is myself and Jeff and Kyle Carvin, our other producer. We were at a bar, Tiki No, down in Lancashire, North Hollywood. Great little bar, and we're just kind of kicking around ideas. What's our next film? What are we going to do? And Kyle was just looking at public domain stuff and said, "Hey, Popeye's made public domain in like a year and a half," and we thought this is perfect. We have an 18-month runway. We started that night. We started kind of coming up with some story ideas, and then a few months later, we had Tucker and Nathan over, and we started talking to them about it around the kitchen table. We're just having ideas about the story, and it just kind of grew from there. So, but to answer your question, because we all grew up with Popeye, we knew him, and we thought that'd be a really fun, dark take we can do with it. So,
I specifically remember being very cinematic, like the conversation around it.
Yeah. Now, I wasn't there for that first conversation, but by the time I got looped in, not only was there the personal connection to it, but there was something that was inherently cinematic in it because he is so iconic and so singular to him as a character that you can really do so much with him, not just visually, but within the storyline. That it just kind of snowballed into something that we all got excited about, and that's a big part of it, is just being excited about the character that you're connecting to.
Do we have any others? Again, just kind of wait a little if you do, because here you go, right in the dead center.
Was the tone always intended to be over the top, campy, rather than just playing a complete straight and serious, or I guess in terms of just the material?
Yeah, I think it was always intended to be a little campy. Like if you're making Popeye a serial killer, I think you got to take a little bit, have a little fun with it. I did a movie about, a little over 10 years ago where I made Paul Bunyan a serial killer. So, it's just kind of, it's a little similar in tone a little bit to that one. But yeah, check that one out too. Axe Giant, The Wrath of Paul Bunyan, shameless plug.
I told Robert when he called me and asked me to play the role of Popeye, I'm like, I'm not going to do it unless it's over the top. And he's like, if we're going to use a gallon of blood for every kill, I'm like, I'm in.
Look at this guy. Obvious choice, right?
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah.
For Popeye, I noticed some of his kills were, like somewhat comedic, somewhat horrific. Is it like some inspiration from Jason?
Jason inspiration? No, Jason Voorhees, Jason. Yeah. Right? You mean Jason? Yeah. Yeah. Real Jason? Were you inspired by fake Jason?
Yes, Jason and Puppy Michael Myers and a couple other the classic '80s horror movies. I think was the inspiration behind the kills, and that's why they went with practical effects. So.
Shout out to RJ Young though too.
Oh yeah. RJ was our special effects guru, and I'll let you know about Steven. What Robert didn't know behind the scenes is he was off things, and we're talking about how I'm going to rip his arm off and beat him with it. And this prosthetic arm that we had. It weighed like 40 pounds, and it had actually an exoskeleton inside of it, and it was very heavy. And Steven goes, "Hey man, we only got one take. I want you to go 100% on me." And I'm like, "I'm gonna break your ribs if I go 100%." And he actually just wanted me to slam him up against that thing in the back, and I actually went and told a bunch of the prop guys to go, "Hey, get some padding and put it behind, because I'm gonna screw this guy up big time if I hit him whole." I did a quarterback kind of or a football tackle into the thing. So Stephen crazy.
Maybe one more. Yeah, right there. That's it.
Question for Jeff. Was Anchor Bay named after the DVD house in Michigan?
Anchor Bay, named after the DVDs.
He asked if Anchor Bay was named after the DV company in Michigan. That's no, but obviously we knew about Anchor Bay, so it was kind of a fun little, in joke. But yes, but yeah, we were. I think we came up. I think you didn't know about Anchor Bay, right? You were Kyle, and but it was early in the conversation, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Right there, that's yeah. We'll get you to it. Yeah.
Are we ever going to see a physical media release?
I believe so. That's a question for VMI, but I believe we are. Yes. Yes. I don't know when. Do we have any kind of possible date for that?
Very soon.
Summer? Okay, summer.
I just have one more for all of you, and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But and Sarah, I've already asked you this, but you can answer again or change your answer. You wake up tomorrow and every cartoon and comic character is available in public domain, and you could do whatever the hell you want, whatever horror movie you want. Who do you pick?
I'd have to go with I'd take olive oil. Might as well.
Yeah.
She'd be my wife in crime.
Gun to my head, I would maybe go the extreme and pick Superman and do a really dark horror version of him.
Well, I think Speed Racer would be fun to do a horror movie.
Like Death Racer.
Hong Kong Phooey, I don't know if I remember him.
Anybody Animaniacs heads in the house? I feel like we could use one of those. Let's do one of those.
I think Charlie Brown has a lot to give out. He owes a lot of people some things.
I think Popeye sequel, for sure.
SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know, he wouldn't kill people with a knife, but he would do some really disgusting stuff.
I don't know what their deal is, but I'm a South Park guy. So I don't know if we had like Chef or someone, you know what I mean? Killer cafeteria guy. But yeah, South Park.
Tom and Jerry, they're already there. Just a little more blood.
These are all really good. I'm thinking Woody Woodpecker or Chip and Dale. You know, the Rescue Rangers? Those guys?
I would say Looney Tunes. You know, I could see Bugs Bunny shanking somebody with a carrot. You know, or I could see, the pig. He already had the sign off, and that's all, folks. You know, and that's perfect sign off. Perfect sign off.
Can't end it better than that. You said that's all, folks. That's all, folks.